Hello and welcome to today's plumberparts.co.uk video. Today I'm going to show you how to change a single pillar kitchen tap. It's going to be really handy for you guys to know how to do it because it could save you a load of money on getting a plumber out to do it himself. So as we can see, it's this one's leaking. Right, so here is the new tap. We've got the flexible fittings here that actually came with the tap. This is the rubber and metal clamp that go on the bottom of the tap. These are the two screws that we're going to use to tighten the tap up and the nuts that go with it. And this is the tap itself, nice and clean. Right, remove everything from out under the sink, get it all out of the way. You don't want anything in your way when you're trying to do this job. These are the two pipes that are supplying the hot and cold to the tap that's up there, right at the top. You can see that just there. Anyway, we turn these two valves off here to stop the water supply, and then we go above to make sure that the water's turned off. Once we've turned the water off, just go back to the tap quickly, open it up and make sure that there's no water coming out. That will indicate then that you've successfully turned the water off and you can safely remove the water supply to the tap. Now we're going to want to remove the two flexible pipes from the valves that have been turned off. Do that using a pair of grips and an adjustable spanner. Always take your time doing this bit because you are going to be in quite a tight space, but persist, you'll get them undone and then we'll be ready to move on to the next stage. Just watch me do it. Get your adjustables on here and then loosen that off. That's nice and loose already. Let's just take that off by hand. Right, remove that all together. Now you can see now what I mean by having to take off this bolt here. If this whole screw hadn't come out, you'd have had to have unwound this bolt all the way down this thread in a very tight space. If that doesn't happen, you'll have to have a go with your miniature adjustables to get that off. Now we should be able to go back up here and find that the tap's nice and loose. There we go. But now we can take off the flexible hoses from the bottom. You just grab them like that and twist them off. Do that to both of them. Once you've removed your other flexible hose, you should have enough room to get this one out like that. And there's your old tap removed. Now is usually the time that I get a scouring pad on this bit here and give that a bit of a clean before we put the new tap on. Now we're going to prepare the new tap for installation. First thing we do is we get each one of these studs and pop them in. Wind them in about 4 or 5 turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we get each one of our flexible hoses here and screw them in. They create a watertight seal because they've got a little rubber O-ring right round them just there. All they need to do is go in just like that, nice and easy. You'll have a small rubber flange bit that goes on the bottom. That's what stops any water that's actually on the surface of the sink from going down where the tap actually connects. So it causes a nice watertight seal there. That will all get clamped up by these two. Now these two bits actually go under the sink. So they'll pop over like so, just there. If you imagine my thumb is the sink, and then you'll have your two screws that will just go on there like that, and they are what clamps the tap to the sink. So first things first, we feed our two pipes through the hole. Sit it down. So once you've got the tap in the position that you want it in, we can go back down under the sink and pop these two lovely nuts on. So as you can see, here are the two nuts that we're going to screw to. So we get our two clamps on. Put our rubber one on first, so that's on the sink side. So put the rubber one on first, then the metal. Try and push them up as far as you can. You have to keep a hand there while you actually start one of the nuts. Once they're both tightened up, we can then reconnect the water connections, test for leaks and then test for operation. It doesn't matter which way they go round on this particular tap because I can swap round the hot and cold indicator really easily. Give each one of those just a slight nip up with your adjustables. We should be ready to turn the water back on and test for leaks. Right, so the water's back on. Got nothing dripping down here, which is great. Nothing dripping up there. Now we'll turn the tap on itself. So there we go, that's how you install a new single pillar kitchen tap. Sometimes you can buy specialist tools that will actually do up the nuts on the bottom. They're called tube spanners. You might want to look out for those. They can be really handy when doing this. If not, you'll have to use the adjustable spanner like I showed you earlier on. I hope you found the video that we've done today has helped you out. Please stay dry and I'll see you next time. Hold tight! Plumberparts.co.uk. Honest reviews and advice.